So Rogue and Gambit are finally out, and I'm not really sure which one I want to start off with. Also, for all of my normal subscribers and people that just generally follow my channel, please stick around for the end for a special message. So I'm playing Gambit, and I'm going to go up against Rhino. But to make this a little interesting, it is standard. But to make this a little interesting, I'm going to throw in Expedus, and we'll see how this goes.
Let's just see how this goes.
So to get started, I ended up with 2 charge cards, Dazzler, Breaking and Entering, Gambit Staff, and Myra McTaggart. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to discard Dazzler, the charge card, Breaking and Entering. And I'll keep a charge card, Gambit Staff, and Myra McTaggart. And I'm going to draw 3 cards. Holy crap.
Resources!
Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Genius to play Myra McTaggart, which will allow me to... What this will allow me to do is I'll flip over to him, I can exhaust her, and I get to draw another card. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Molecular Acceleration to play... and Power of Justice to play the X-Jet.
Be at the X-Jet in 5.
And then let's go and use the X-Jet to play Gambit Staff.
I'll have to bring in my bow staff.
And then I will attack for 2. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've added the scheme here. Rhino's going to attack me. Since I have very little life, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exhaust Gambit to defend. So he's going to hit me for 2 plus nothing. So Gambit defends, and now I get my encounter card, which is the villain schemes. So he's going to scheme for 1, 2, 3. So this goes up to 3 or 4. So I did make a mistake last time, and I should have exhausted Gambit's staff, which would allow me to have done 1 additional damage to Rhino. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my charge the card ability. I did it last time. I don't think I really even talked about it, but it basically allows me to add a counter, 1 counter each time, and then I had another counter because I played the Molecular Acceleration, which says when you spin this card, place 1 charge counter on Gambit. But I can only do that if I'm playing, if I'm in hero form. All right, so that's got that situated. Now, I think I'm going to do one way or another, where I search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal the side scheme, and I draw 3 cards.
Please hold.
All right, so I had 2 options. I could either have done Breaking and Taking, which would allow me to... basically what's going to end up happening is every single round I get 2 encounter cards instead of 1. But that's it. And the alternative is Herald of Avalon, where once I defeat this, and I get the an additional counter card every round as well. But once I defeat it, then I bring out Expedus, which probably would have been more entertaining, but I am absolutely afraid that I'm going to lose this thing because I'm already 2 away. I say 2 because it's going to happen again. So, all right. So we got Breaking and Taken, so I get to draw 3 cards. I got Natural Agility, Strength, and Mutant Education. Well, let's use Strength to pay for Under Surveillance, which will increase this by 4. Which is great. I'm going to exhaust the X-Jet, use Mutant Education, and Charged Card to play Royal Flush. That will allow me to put this to 2, and then I can use 3 counters, and I can attack Rhino 3 times, each for 3 damage done. So that means he has 2 health left. This goes away, and then let's go ahead and we will. I hate doing this, but I'm gonna use natural agility to pay for Gambit's armor, and that way I can ready each round.
Well, we all make mistakes.
All right, so I'm a little iffy on the timing of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and say I'm going to defend using Gambit, and I'm going to go ahead and use the natural agility. That may not be right. Maybe I can wait until after I've gotten the card, but I'm just going to say I'm going to use it anyway, which will allow me to move this up here. Because I have 2 counters, this card allows me to but I get an additional defense based on how many counters I have. So in this case, I get +2. So that means I'll be defending for 3 instead of just the normal, or I'll be defending for 5 instead of just 3. So let's go ahead. We'll see what happens. He's going to attack me for 2. And then it says, I'm stunned and confused.
We are so screwed.
But because he didn't deal any damage, I guess I could do this. Ooh. I guess I do that too. And then I can ready him. And now I get 2 encounter cards, which are Guild Business, Obligation, and Psionic Shield, which is attached to a minion, otherwise it gains Surge. So it gains Surge. Shadows of the Past.
The shadows of the past.
So there's Belladonna, who quick strikes me for 3. I guess I'll take it. Yeah, just take it. And this way I can attack. And I have Assassin's Guild. Alright, so I had Guild Business and Shadows of the Past. And let's go ahead and just give myself another counter card just for shits and giggles. The villain attacks me, which says he's going to hit me for 2, 3, 4. So he hits me for 4. Good night, this game changed quickly.
Could have been worse.
So, because of how fast that escalated, I probably should try to get rid of Guild Business. But I think what I want to do instead is, one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use his ability where I can add a charge counter. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to thwart. So I will thwart so I can get rid of the confused. I will then flip over to Alter Ego, and I'm going to play Overwatch on... I am going to use... Well, I guess I'll use Royal Flush and Mutant Education then. Because I would have used the X-Jet, but it says I have to have an identity that has the X-Men trait, and he doesn't have the X-Men trait. So now that I'm no longer confused, I'll use Breaking and Entering to remove 3 threat from 2 schemes. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Breaking and Taking. And now I can remove 3 threat from the main scheme, which puts me back at 2. So I have some breathing room.
That is one big pile of shit.
Alright, so gone and added the threat. Rhino is now going to scheme for 1, 2. And then Belladonna is going to scheme for an additional 2. So that puts me at 7. And now I get my 2 encounter cards. One just because it's the encounter phase, but then an additional one for this. So my first one is Guild Assassin, who has Quick Strike. But because I'm in my Alter Ego, he doesn't do any damage. And then my second one is Mercenary, who has Guard. Wow. I am just racking up the the people.
Anyone else?
So the first thing I want to do is use Marvel Girl to pay for Rogue. And I'm going to have Rogue thwart for 2. No. I'm going to have Rogue attack the assassin, guild assassin for 2. And gets rid of him. Then I'm going to exhaust Remy and use the operative skill to get rid of guild business, remove it from the game. Actually, it just hit me now that the Assassin's Guild here has an acceleration, and I didn't add that one in, so I'll do that now. All right, I'm going to flip Gambit and then exhaust Moira McTaggart, and it gives me an additional card. Just breaking and entering. I guess I will put Overwatch on here. Use charged card and Creole. Sure. No, I'm going to leave charged card. I'm going to use the X-Jet and Creole Charmer to play breaking and entering. And that way I can remove 3 threat from here and 3 threat from break-in. And I think that's all that I can do.
Are you sure about this?
Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is not smart at all. So Rhino's going to attack me, and I'm going to have Gambit defend for it. Shoot, this isn't going to work either. Alright. Oh, that's going to be horrible. Alright, so Gambit's going to defend. He's going to hit me for 2. So that means he hits me for 1. I take 1 damage. Oh my gosh, I'm so messed up. And then Belladonna's going to attack me. Oh wait, Rhino also takes 1 damage, which makes this even more interesting. So now we go to the second stage where Breaking Taking comes back out, and Belladonna's going to attack me. I'm pretty much lost, because if Belladonna attacks me for 3, because I did take damage with guild armor, I'm not able to ready. And so if she attacks Rogue, I'm dead. Or then the mercenary attacks me and I'm dead. Plus I'm in trouble with Rogue. The only other option I guess could have been is if I had Rogue defend for me. And then she's defeated. I'm just going to do this just so that way the game keeps going on, but understand I've already lost because of my decisions. So I'm still readied. Belladonna is going to attack me. I will defend. I guess she then loses the tough because of my staff. I can ready Gambit's armor. Mercenary is going to attack me, and I'm going to go ahead and allow him to just hit me at this point. So I take the 1 damage now. And now I'm going to receive... Oh, this wouldn't be out now, would it? Because he still has 1 health. Alright, and so I get my 1 card, which is Assassination Attempt. Each assassin minion attacks me, even if I'm in Alter Ego. If there's no minions in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for minion and reveal it. So this is not going to work the way I want it to anyway. So I'll defend, so she can't hit me, because she's an assassin. Oh my god.
Now that should not have happened.
Alright, so to keep this ball rolling, we're going to go ahead and exhaust the X-Jet and use the power of justice to bring Bishop out. And then we'll use X-Men Instruction. To grab 2 X-Men allies. So we'll throw Rogue back in. And I think, yeah, let's do Marvel Girl. And we will shuffle them into my deck. And then from here, well, I guess I can add another counter here. I can't use either one of these cards. And I guess I could have Bishop. Yeah, I guess I'll have Bishop thwart for 2. To get rid of Assassin's Guild. That's been just nasty. And then I need to flip over because I'm basically dead. But I can't play either one of these cards. So I think I'm gonna get rid of Creole Charmer with the hope that I'll be able to pull out charged card. Play charged card.
You did nothing.
So I've gone ahead and drawn my hand. Not a lot of attack events. I do have a couple of people that might be able to help me, but probably not. And I do want to remind everyone, I still have the under surveillance, which increases the target value of the attached scheme by 4. So that's why I'm sitting at 11. So that's where we're at there. So Rhino is going to scheme for 1. And Belladonna is going to scheme for 2. So that's 3. I lost. Right. And then if I were to do that, it's still 3. So still would have lost. Wow. I would have lost twice over.
Game over.
So a couple of my thoughts about this game. One, I think that Ready to Rumble would be an excellent inclusion into Gambit's deck. It probably would cause me to actually flip over a lot more into hero form. I've spent a lot of time as Gambit just in alter ego, using a lot of his cards to kind of thwart everything down. And again, with Rhino, you are kind of dealing with someone who kind of spikes a lot. Another thing that I've kind of learned is Expedus, or whatever the modular set that comes with Gambit. He's no joke, man. I mean, I don't think I've been able to beat Rhino with him, and I've done a couple of things already. I'm having a rough time with it, but that's the part of the fun, right? Now I have a puzzle. I need to try to figure out how to attack it. My wife and I played last night a couple of games, and she's at a point where she's going to give up on Rogue and Gambit, and she just wants to try to do it with just Spider Ham, because she said that she's going to lose. She wants to at least have fun. So those were a couple of thoughts. And I think maybe I just need to rework my deck. I know one thing that I have an issue with is I don't really play a lot with the precon. It's not because I have any issues with it. It's just almost immediately after I get a deck, I tend to go ahead and sleeve everything. And then I have a system that I put everything in. And unless I go and I look up the precon, it's not going to happen. So I won't play with it pretty much. So, and there's no rhyme or reason to most of my deck building. It's just like, oh, this looks like it would be a fun card to play. But I did want to go over some things about me personally. So now we're in March. Last month, February, was absolutely rough on me. We had my son first, and then a couple of days, or I guess a week and a half after my son was born, my mom passed away. So that's why I haven't been uploading content. My intention has always been to kind of have a couple of different videos, so that way if something like this happens, like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I can kind of still upload something. But I just haven't been able to do that, unfortunately. But I do want to thank every last one of you. I've been very bad, and this is just in general, like in my personal life as well, reaching out to all those people that have reached out to me. I've heard your prayers. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And this is something that I do enjoy doing. And this is kind of something that I can do to take myself out of that kind of situation. So thank you for supporting me and doing all of that. And hopefully I'll be able to produce content more regularly in the future. At least that's what my plan is. So until next time, thanks for sticking around.